HMP Bristol, temporary home to more than 500 prisoners. Now life on the inside exposed by a surprise inspection. A place of drugs and violence, long hours in crowded cells, inmates afraid and unoccupied and often released with nowhere to go. Drugs, it said, are readily available. Positive random tests exceptionally high. 1 in 7 inmates left with a drug problem they didn't have before, and too few staff were doing too little to stop the supply.
I would say you need to double the staffing levels that you've currently got. That would enable you to carry out searching every single day. It would enable you to do wall patrols to stop the drugs getting thrown over the walls.
After the last inspection here in 2014, there were a series of recommendations designed to improve conditions here. Today, inspectors told me they felt most of those recommendations had simply been ignored, and far from improving, conditions here were simply getting worse. They found broken glass, peeling ceilings, graffiti and damaged floors. Cockroaches found in the last inspection in 2014 were still there. One prisoner had given up using the toilet at night, fed up of crushing the insects beneath his bare feet.
At night you can hear the cockroaches scurrying around. He said, and he'd been told by other prisoners not to stand on them because they carry loads of babies and that's when they spread.
In the 21st century, the question has to be asked, is this acceptable? It's, I'm sorry to say, not untypical of a number of local prisons which have declined quite dramatically in the past few years, largely as a result of drugs.
The report said HMP Bristol was chronically understaffed, a factor behind its poor performance, and said violence between inmates and staff was very high, although levels had begun to come down. In a statement, a spokesperson for Her Majesty's Prison and Probation Service said, "Performance at Bristol isn't at an acceptable level. More staff, including an additional 29 prison officers, are being recruited." The report said, without increasing staff numbers, problems with drugs, violence and conditions for inmates would likely continue. Andrew Plant, BBC Points West in Bristol.